Swwampurna. It is perfection. It is blossoming into perfection and realizing all the promises of life. But this is not easy. It is riddled with many challenges. One such critical challenge is the need to maintain the hygiene and to remain clean during the menstrual cycle. Kriya, a small town girl, lives in Sonpur with her parents. Sonpur is located in a remote area devoid of any major social facilities. It is that small and simple, followed by congested roads, gutters, and less facilities. People dump their waste near their houses without even bothering about the social well-being and hygiene. Priya had been brought up in a way that she is unaware of social obligations. She loves waking up in the morning to greet the rising sun, but on those days, the days when she bleeds, Kriya hates waking up and meeting the long, difficult life. It all begins with disposing of the used menstrual cloth, and now it's the same with the sanitary napkins that she is using. She throws the sanitary pads here and there since the school incinerator is not working. When she is at her home, she has no choice but to throw the used sanitary pads out of the windows on which the dogs and the rest of the animals feed. Today is different. Riya is going to the city for her further studies and she is so excited. But she also has a problem. She is bleeding today and simply cannot postpone her trip. Riya's journey begins at the station where the train comes, and in the next 4 hours to the city, Kriya has to use the toilet many times, and each time she has no choice but to throw the dirty napkins from the door or the window of the train. From the station to her new home, Kriya threw her sanitary pad on the road itself from the car. Finally, Kriya reached her new home. She wrapped up the used sanitary pad and tried to find a solution to dispose it. She used black polythene to dispose and threw it under her bed. She continued to dispose of her pads in the black polythene for the next 3 days and then threw it under the bed so that no one could find it out. The polythene was full of disposed pads and Kriya was tensed as she did not know where to dispose them of. That night she threw the polythene out of the balcony because she was scared to go out in an unknown place. The next morning, Kriya woke up to some noise and commotion. She went outside and stood at the balcony, noticed the torn black polythene and soiled pads lying outside, surrounded by people in anger. In guilt, she ran towards the people. Everyone started asking her about it. She was dumbstruck. Kriya started crying and wanted to die. And then she heard an old lady speak. "I am 89 years of age and this little girl here is facing the same problems I faced 80 years ago and my mother did before me. I could not study because hardly anyone studied then. My daughter did not study because her school did not have a proper toilet for her, and my granddaughter has to stay back home because she too does not have a proper toilet. All must realize a woman also uses the toilet to change her sanitary napkins. Where is she going to keep the dirty napkins? Her aunt reached there to rescue her. Kriya picked up the polythene and they both went back to home. Her aunt told her about the right disposal method of sanitary waste. Disposable sanitary napkins have a high content of LDPE plastic polymers and a layer made out of polyacrylate. The polyacrylate layer is a superabsorbent gel which absorbs the menses to give one that dry feeling and also soaks up water when it is flushed down the toilet. It continues to float as it makes its way through the underground rivers and clogs up the sewers, leading conservancy workers to dive down and remove them by hand. Garbage pickers are vulnerable to various microorganisms because they do not use face masks and hand gloves. They are exposed to diseases like E. coli, Salmonella, Staphylococcus pathogens, causes hepatitis, HIV, and tetanus. The sanitary pads, when burned, release fumes which contain toxic gases like dioxins and furans, which are one of the most toxic substances known to humankind, being carcinogenic and linked to various health problems, including reproductive health and hampering development in children. And if these are not burned, they either end up in dumps and possibly being eaten by cows and other animals. She then informs Kriya about the solutions and the eco-friendly ways to dispose sanitary napkins. Incinerators need to be used at a certain temperature level around 800 degrees Celsius. Schools and institutions, even at community level, these incinerators can be installed. Clay and cement incinerator named Ashuddhanashak is an eco-friendly and a cheap innovation by a lady named Swati, which burns many sanitary napkins at a time without creating any smoke. For better disposal techniques, disposal bags should be provided by manufacturing companies with color indication for disposing these products. These bags should be freely distributed among schools and institutions. Her aunt encouraged her to use biodegradable products. Sathi pad is made out of banana fiber and decomposes naturally in 6 months. Anandi pad is made out of natural and starch-based materials which ensure minimal damage to the environment. Menstrual cup is a reusable alternative to one-time used sanitary pads and is made with medical-grade silicone which can be used over and over again and is in fact much more hygienic than a sanitary napkin. Ecofemi, a cloth pad revolution. The company provides washable cloth pads and unlike disposable sanitary napkins, these can be washed and reused for years. The pad is made up of natural material, cotton. Goonj, My Pads. Goonj has successfully converted 800,000 meters of cotton cloth into 4 million My Pads, which have successfully reached women across the country as a solution to deal with her menses. Kriya understood everything and promised her aunt that she will take a step forward to keep the environment clean by disposing the used female hygiene products with care and caution.